Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Alia Syazwani binti Bakar. I'm going to introduce about the synopsis in Late Night Movie in 2019. So basically, this movie is about the popular entertainment show host Catherine Newberry. It started when she started to appoint her first and the only female writer to her organization, and she thought that the decision that she made to appoint Molly is unnecessary or bad decision, but it is otherwise because Molly happens to change her life to be a better person. So that's all for the synopsis. Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Alia Syazwani binti Bakar, and I'm going to present about the negative critical incident that we have found from the Late Night Movie in 2019. Before we see the excerpt or playback mini about the critical incident 1, let me explain the details of the critical incident 1. Firstly, the critical incident 1 that we get from this movie is the power of struck bosses that applies to her employer. So as for the critical incident, it shows when the employers say that I am the captain of the ship and you have barely earned the right to be an oar. It shows that employers is in power and did not receive any opinion from her subordinate. So we can analyze the incident when the Catherine Newberry, the employer, did not want to hear any opinions from Molly, which is her subordinate or her employees, and it shows the power of struck bosses. As for the theory, we can see that professionalism theory should be used in this critical incident because both employers and employees have the right to give an opinion and have the right to be heard. As for the effect, because of this critical incident, Molly, the employee, has become so sad and embarrassed because her opinion was rejected outright from his employer. As for the recommendation, both parties, which the employers and employees, should apply professionalism by by giving an opinion, by hurt and tolerance with each other. So as you can see, this is the excerpt or a playback for critical incident 1 and 2, because we have found that there are two negative critical incident in this scene, which are the second critical incidents will be explained after this video.
Okay, I've been doing this job for nearly 30 years and I know what works, and I'll tell you what doesn't work. An absurdly confident newcomer coming in, criticising my show and giving me her assessment of my comic persona without doing the hard work of presenting me with solutions. This room is a ship. I am the captain and you have barely earned the right to be an oar.
Okay, we move to the second negative critical incident, which is the disrespectful. Why? Okay, so the critical incidents in this is disrespectful. It shows when the employers raises her voice and scolded her employees in front of other employees, and it shows that it was so disrespectful behavior. So we can say that the analysis of these incidents is the respectful attitudes from employers towards employees, because she scolded Molly, Catherine Newberry scolded Molly in front of the staff. We have found that emotion theory is suitable theory that should be applied in this critical incident, because both the employers and employees should be able to control their emotions and not be disrespectful towards each other in front of others. As for the effect, because of this critical incident, it has caused Molly, the employee, being so down, and she cried for a long time, and she becomes so sad because of the disrespectful attitude from her employers. As for the recommendation, both employers and employees should apply the work ethic attitude by controlling their emotion peacefully and professionally in front of others, especially in front of the employees in the organization.
8. If you leave, don't come back.
I made a commitment, I'm sorry.
So after we see the playback of critical incident 3, we have found that negative critical incident from that playback is the employees leaving without employer's permission. So from the analysis from the critical incident, it shows when Molly said, "I made a commitment, I'm sorry." It still shows that Molly still want to step away from the office despite being warned by her employer. As for the analysis of the incident, it shows that Catherine Newberry, the employer, really needs all of her employees, including Molly, but Molly are still not obey the instruction from the employers, and she still step away from the office. As for the theory of compliance should be applied in this critical incident, because as an employee or as a worker in an organization, it is inappropriate to not obey the instructions of authorities, because it shows when when the workers is obey or compliance or adherence to the instruction, she or he is a dedicated person. As for the effect, because of this critical incident, Molly has been fired from her employer because she still leave and disobey the instruction from her employer. As for the recommendation, it's important to tolerate and consideration between each other, because to prevent any unnecessary causes such fired. So I think that's all for a negative critical incident. We move forward to Nurul Afifah to explain about the positive critical incident.
Maybe I just moved back to Pennsylvania.
Can I give you some advice? You need to shut the fuck up.
Excuse me?
If you hear something you don't agree with, you have to resist the urge to give your opinion.
I will not be marginalized by the iron fist of white privilege that pervades this work environment.
I am not trying to silence your strong female Indian woman of color spirit. #MeToo, trans is beautiful, blah, blah, blah. You're still a new writer with no experience. You need to stop giving advice and write something. You're a writer, so write.
For positive, first is consideration among co-workers. In the scene, Birdie tries to persuade Molly not to be sad and hurt by what Catherine said during the meeting. For the application theory, Molly was comforted by Birdie, who was polite. He said that to Molly, "You are still a newbie. Writers with no experience." He said that, so stop offering advice and start writing. Since you are a writer, you should write. For effect, Birdie inspired Molly as a co-worker, gently encouraging her to remain optimistic. When working in a group, this demonstrates effective communication among co-workers. As a result, to be productive and efficient, a positive workplace atmosphere may be created. Next, for the recommendation, when working in a group, everyone should be supportive of one another, especially through difficult times. As a result, a healthy working atmosphere will be created.
I am the only woman in late night network television, but I have been doing the same format and the same jokes, hell, even the same cadences as some of these other guys.
So what are you saying? You want more jokes about female issues?
No, I'm not asking you to write me a type 5 on menstruation. I just want to say only things I can talk about. Nothing is off limits. If you think it's funny, I don't care how personal it is. I am a 56-year-old Englishwoman who has never given birth or seen a superhero film. Right to that, you cannot offend me. If you don't know enough about me, come and talk to me. I swear I will not scream at you.
Second critical incident is two-way communication. The scene is in the conference room. Catherine invites the authors to share their thoughts with her for Catherine to enhance her comedy on the programs. She claims that she will not shout at her employees since in the past she has skipped critics and refused to accept her writer's suggestion. For the application theory, Catherine's action have shown the writers since Catherine is the type of person who cannot handle criticism because she believes she does everything correctly all of the time. In fact, the writers and Catherine will be able to collaborate more successfully if there is two-way communication. This is because the writers will believe that their input is valuable and required in the company. It will make the writers feel as if their contribution is valued and required by Catherine. Recommendation: two-way communication must be practiced in the company to minimize misunderstandings among employees and to promote a good connection between employees and leaders. A good communication skill is necessary to guarantee that the leader and the followers know and respect one another.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The thing is, when you hate yourself, the only thing that makes you feel better is to get other people to feel the same way as you do. Is this filtered? I didn't mean what I said.
Thank you for saying that and for coming here. Do you like the color of my wall?
No.
You know what? I'm not going to go back and work for you because that was a very toxic work environment.
I need you, Molly. I need your pushiness and lack of boundaries. I need the annoying way you light up every time I walk into the room. It makes me feel like I'm not a fraud. But mostly I need your talent.
You love me.
No, I didn't say that. No.
I mean, not in those words, but you...
No, I didn't say it in any of those words. But you have made an impression on me, a very big impression. Please, Molly, come back. It won't be the show you left, but I need you to help me change it.
If I do, no more tantrums. No more hiring people who all look the same.
Okay.
No humiliating people. And no withering looks.
The third critical incident is mistake and regrets. Analysis of incident. Catherine goes to Molly's news resident and tells Molly that she has regret what she said to Molly and apologized to her. I'm sorry, I didn't mean what I said. Catherine earnestly invites Molly to work with her again. I need you, Molly. Molly accepts the offer on condition. Molly said, no more tantrums, no more hiring people who all look the same, no more humiliating people, and no withering looks. Application for the scene is Catherine has realized her mistake when firing Molly. Catherine had misunderstood what Molly had said and acted harshly by firing Molly. Catherine realized that what Molly is saying to herself is a motivation for her to continue and to face all the problems and fix her past mistakes. Effect for the scene is the atmosphere at work has changed in a more positive direction. Communication and discussion were done in the meeting, caused the atmosphere at work to be more comfortable and happy. The recommendation is each offense must be regretted with forgiveness between the two parties as a sign of respect. Respect needs to be present in an organization to produce a good work culture situation, as well as it will result in an improvement in the quality of work. For the conclusion, in this late night movie, it has positive and negative scene. As an employee, we must be tolerant and help each other to produce quality work. And as a leader, we must set an example of good manners and establish good communication in the organization so that employees feel themselves and their work are valued. With all this practice, it will create a positive vibe working condition. Thank you.